Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahushai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahushai. Shalak. Rayam. Why? Einash. Why? Haragi. Why? Mishpani. Why? Gador. Mawat. Al. Kor. Adawani. Why? Gawaya. What? Ayab Yinawa. Baba Kashab. Baba Kashab. Shalak. Ash. Ba. Shem. Bayat. Baba Kashab. Shabar. What? Abad. Ayab Yinawa. Baba Kashab. Shabar. Ha. Makai. Shor. Ha. Ayab Yat. Baba Kashab. Baba Kashab. Sar. Ma. Kayal. Ba. La. Masapai. The water.
All right, Shalom Israel, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Mashak Malak Yahushai. That is to say, Yahweh, being named Heavenly Father, who the world will call God, and Yahushai, being named His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. His brother Kasadia from W5 Jersey, Philly.
His brother Yazra.
Brother Tazamak.
Khan. And the title of the video is another Watchman Wednesday, all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. TikTok earlier today, they passed over in the Senate. It's like at the House Representatives to ban TikTok. Right, we're going to go into that and the censorship and what that's all entailing, as well as the different bills that were passed over in Canada. Pretty much in a blind eye, a few days ago over in Canada, they try to pretty much penalize you and criminalize you for teaching the Bible and quoting scriptures, as well as there's a ongoing border crisis over in Florida, right? A lot of Levites, if you don't know, it's a lot of things going on in Haiti. The government has pretty much collapsed, and the gangs are running it over there in Haiti, and they're actually, from the sources that we have, they're on our way to Florida, which would be another border crisis, as we already have over there in Texas, right? So I'm gonna kick it off with this precept. Every Watchman Wednesday, and just all in all, we got to make sure that we keep and watch, right? Because any given second, this thing can go down, right? Any given second. That's the spirit you want to be in these last days, knowing what time you win in the world, right? Let me get this precept. This is the book of St. Mark, chapter 13 and verse 32, and it reads, "But of that day and that hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father." Right? So we don't know when all hell is going to break loose. All we can do is come out and give you the information that's been provided to us through the Holy Spirit to push it out and link up the different signs and link up the prophecies. That's all we can do. But we can't give you a pinpoint date and say, okay, all hell for sure is going to break loose tomorrow, or the lights for sure is going to go out in the next 5 minutes, or this live stream for sure will be taken down and they're going to bust through our houses and then round all of us up. We can't say that because we're not the Most High. So all we can do is, again, go through these different sources, linking up with what the scripture is saying, and give you the information in the one full package, right? So let's read that again. It says, "But the day and that hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father. Take ye heed, watch and pray, for you know not when the time is." So the Lord said we got to take heed. Given that you don't know the time that all hell is going to break loose in the earth, given that you don't know when Jacob's trouble is going to kick off, the sixth seal is going to kick off, Yahweh Shai is going to make his second coming. We don't know those things. We don't know when the famine of the word is going to happen. We see signs, but that's all we got. Now, given that we don't know, the Lord said you got to take heed, watch, and pray. So to take heed is meaning you're being circumspect. You're being vigilant. You're not letting the day creep upon you. All week you didn't check out what's going on, and you waited till Wednesday night to figure out what we're going to bring out. There's times where things happen and we wasn't able to make a Watchman Wednesday, So I'm not saying that everyone is watching this or will tune in, Lord willing, is only doing that, but we letting you know don't do that, and we letting you know to make sure you keep watch. and it can happen tonight. It can happen then, God forbid, but it can happen in 10 years from now. 10 years from now, we can still be making Watchmen Wednesdays and going through the prophecies and shaking the hand in the highways and byways. It could happen. We don't know. But it's our job to come out and inform you as well. Brothers got to do.
Con. I got a quick precept. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 5, and I'm going to start verse 9. And salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber. Hey, so as we're going into, TikTok, if you've been keeping up with the news, TikTok is going to be banned by the United States Congress as soon as it passes through the Senate. They're proposing a bill to ban TikTok. Now, the reason why this is on a big magnitude is because when you look at the power that these men have to withhold a certain app on that magnitude and just take it away like that, I believe when you look in the votes, it was 350 to 0. So that means every member of Congress voted to ban TikTok. When you see the type of power that they had to do that, you start to equate and understand on what this can lead to in the truth, man. Hey, the Lord, throughout the Bible, multiple times, prophesies about this understanding being taken away, the famine of the word, this understanding not being out on a high level like it used to be. And with this TikTok ban, hey, brothers can see it. If you're spiritual, you can see it. We can see that this is the first step, or the showing of the first step on how they're going to take away this word out of the street, man, because it has to happen. Let's read that one more time. It says, and salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into a secret chamber, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. And it's going to come a day when men are going to seek the understanding and the knowledge and the breakdowns and the videos and where's Watchmen Wednesday at? And the damn scrolling on their phone. But little do you know, they passed a bill banning so-called hate speech or Bible talk. It removed all the damn videos off of YouTube. There's going to come a day when you can't just go on damn YouTube or Instagram or Facebook and read about the truth and hear about the truth. There's going to come that day. Why? Because the Lord prophesied it. Let's keep reading. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. And in that day, the only thing that's going to happen is that men are going to become more unrighteous, man. The unrighteous shall do unrighteously, or the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. And that day is going to come to pass. So when we see these things, and we're going to dive into some videos, man, because these videos, of course, it's happened to a damn whoever. It's a Moabite. The Moabite is the CEO. But when you see that video, man, look, I'm gonna play for brother. Don't. Hey, they were lying against that man and bringing up false charges to shut that down. And yeah, they were all nodding their head. Yeah. That's what's gonna happen with the truth. They're gonna shut this truth down. They're gonna shut it down, and they're gonna use whatever they want to say, man. They're gonna say, "Well, brother said this." The brother Yazar, he was talking about damn America being blown up, or the brother Kasadi, he was going into how he hates the heathen, or the brother Yatazamak, he was going into how he wants to see all the damn Edomites in chains. They're gonna say things like that, and they're gonna bring it up, and they're gonna damn cut words out and misconstrue this and do that and lie against the servants of the Lord in order to shut this truth down. And we know when that happens, we know that we're very, very close to the end. So when we see things like this, man, we get excited because that's a step into banning the Bible. You think that is banning TikTok for no reason? No, it's because on TikTok, a lot of truth is being pushed out, man. They can't control it neither. They can't control it. There's a lot of truth that's being pushed out on TikTok. A lot of truth videos, a lot of exposing the so-called government. When you look into it, man, TikTok, they got a lot of exposing of the government and propaganda. You know, now people aren't getting down with the propaganda that America pushes out because you got social media. And TikTok is one of the main platforms for that propaganda being shut down. But we have to understand that, again, with America banning TikTok, hey, that the next step with that, man, is them having the power to shut down the YouTube, the power to shut down the Brother Kasai's Instagram page. That's a Hebrew Israelite. You're out of here. That's going to happen, man. You know, the power to shut down the Brother Yazra's Twitter page. It says our homecoming is soon near. Exactly. We understand that these things are just, they're the steps into us getting back home quicker, man. You know, we don't fear this. Oh, man, TikTok. What am I going to do? No. We want this to happen. We want them to come next and bring the family of the word, and we want to get the hell out of here. But we also need you, Israel, to be prepared. Because when the truth gets taken away, man, you know, you got to be prepared. Let me get one more precept and I'm going to pass it. You have to be prepared. That's why the Lord said this in the classic. In Isaiah chapter 55, I'll start verse 6. You know, this is what we're trying to prepare you for, man. This is why we do Watchman Wednesday. It's time to seek the Lord. It's time to come back to the Lord. Gain knowledge and understanding while you can. Watch. Don't be one of those men in a day in that in those days that's clawing and searching for wisdom. Oh, I should have studied more. Oh, whoa, well, damn, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Or I don't know how to maneuver in this situation. But brother, you should have opened your book up and studied. You should have opened up your Bible and read the mighty accounts. So in family, you're not fretting. There's nothing I don't know what to do. No, brother, you gotta pray to the Lord, man, and be patient. Like the man, like Daniel, when the Lord had Habakkuk deliver food to Daniel, or like Elijah, how he fed Elijah with a cake that lasted him, I believe it fed him for 40 days, man. You know, so we gotta look upon these accounts and read these accounts and seek the Lord while he may be found. Let's read that. Isaiah 55 and verse 6. It says, seek the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. So now it's time to come back. This is a big event, whether you believe it or not, with them censoring the Bible. The Bible will be next. My brother's got it.
Yeah, Khan, like the brother was saying, you know, this isn't just going to stop at TikTok. This isn't just, oh, this is for TikTok, and they might try to dress it up and make it seem like that, but they're trying to shut these different avenues, these streaming and these social media. They're trying to shut these things down and censor them because the truth is coming out, right? And you read all throughout the scriptures how the Most High, he talks about exposing this place and exposing the wicked, right? Uncovering. I'm going to read the scripture, but these things, even you read, what is it? I think it's 2 Peter, the 2nd chapter. It says the man of sin has to be exposed. So this is all leading up to the downfall of the white man, the downfall of America, is him being exposed. And these things, these legislation that they're in, these laws, these bills, is all to take away from the truth coming out, right? So I'm going to read Isaiah 47, and we're going to start at the top. Isaiah 47 and verse 1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the river. Right, here's the point. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Like the brother says, you know, you go on Twitter, you go on YouTube, you go on, it don't matter where you go. It don't matter, you can go on Instagram, you can go on TikTok. It's truth coming out. It's not even really just this Bible that's coming out. You got different whistleblowers, you got different people that are realizing that this government, realizing that America is corrupt and coming out and speaking against that. And they already have laws and things set up to where they can't do anything about it. You got the what is it, the Second Amendment, where it's free speech, and
First Amendment.
The First Amendment, that's the First Amendment, is that what is free speech. But now they're seeing that, okay, this is hurting us. This is now you got free speech. Now we're allowing the truth to come out, and that's the last thing they want to do. Because why? Because this nation, America, its foundation is rooted in lies, right? Its foundation is rooted in deceit and guile. So how are you going to take away the deceit and guile and still be a nation? They can't do that. They have to continue to deceive the people. And that's why the TikTok ban eventually is going to become the ban of the Bible, because the Bible is the ultimate truth that they don't want coming out. So again, like the brothers are saying, these are things that we have to watch. It might seem small. It might not be damn nuclear missiles and war, all these things, but this is definitely one thing that's very important. Something important to be watching these last days, because it's not just all about this is a war against the truth. That's what you got to look at it as. It might not be Russia and Ukraine, and it might not be NATO and BRICS, but this is a war against the saints of the Most High, right? And ultimately, and a war against the truth, right? But brother, you got it. You want to go into it?
Con, I had a quick precept. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, and the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli, and the word of Yahweh was precious in those days. There were no open vision. Right? So there was a time when you go into that word precious, it means rare. During the times of Samuel, early on, during the time of Eli, the word of the Most High was, it says there was no open vision, meaning there wasn't many prophets out during that time. Right? The Lord raised up Samuel, whom he used as a prophet, but nevertheless, there's a time coming back on the earth where, again, although we talking about TikTok is it's literally coming. It's like brothers are saying already, it's a platform to allow free speech to continue. And anytime free speech is being hindered, I mean, anytime someone's speaking out against the government, you're actually deemed a so-called terrorist. You're deemed a domestic terrorist. In 2003, America passed a bill known as the Patriot Act, which allowed for them to spy on you, to do wiretaps, to get into your information, to see who's a domestic terrorist in this country. And 1 year later, what happened? They dropped Facebook. And 1 year after that, what happened? They dropped MySpace. And 1 year after that, what happened? They dropped YouTube. And 1 year after that, what happened? They dropped Twitter. Well, how the hell that just happened all after they dropped the Patriot Act in 2003? So when we put these things together, we can see Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, these different platforms are controlled by certain people to hinder us now, or to hinder so-called free speech. It started out one way, and Lord willing, a brother actually is going to go into the video on that, because Tucker Carlson, he had an interview a few weeks ago, and he had this man who was one of the top guys over cybersecurity who actually exposed, he came out, he exposed all of the workings of censorship and things of that nature. So most I will, I'm going to go into it, but I just want to lay the groundwork on why it's a big deal, right? It's a big deal. This is not something that just swept under the rug. We're going to go into the article, but I want to get one last precept. This is St. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3. right? St. Matthew 24:3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So these different things that I'm sure we all read this account of Matthew the 24th chapter is Yahweh Shai telling you in chronological order, damn near, exactly what's going to happen on the earth before all hell breaks loose. Now I'm gonna jump down. Verse 7. It says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. And we know that there's famines. We understand that there's earthquakes, there's different things that's happening. There's pestilence, there's different diseases. These things have been happening. There's nation against nation. We talk about it all the time. We talk about, what's going on in the so-called the war between Russia and Ukraine. We talk about North Korea, South Korea. We talk about Taiwan and China. We talk about we talk about what's happening in the Middle East. But the Lord said they're just the beginning of sorrows, because he's going to tell you next what's going to be first, or the main thing. Verse 9, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So how is this going to happen? This isn't a thing that's not going to come to pass. The Lord said it's going to happen in the end of the world. Matthew the 24th chapter, although certain things, they did take place in 70 AD, 73 AD, 64 AD, but the Lord said this is the end of the world. So these things are prophetic of what's happening in these last days, 2024, 2023, 2025, and so on and so forth. The Lord said you're going to be delivered up, and you're going to be hated of all nations. So we know we teach on YouTube, we teach on these different platforms, and a lot of times when we're teaching against the society, it shuns us, it bans us, or sometimes accounts get removed. This is the Cold Cuts Resurrected channel, because we had two other Cold Cuts channels before that YouTube just took down because we were saying certain things that they did not like. We just had another video, Monday Night Fire, taken down on a Watchmen for Israel main channel, and that was taken down. It was talking about what's his man's name? The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the different men that's ruling the oligarchy behind closed doors, the actual elites of the earth, right? The so-called Illuminati. They shut that video down. They took down their old Adam Abbott channel. Just took that down. They took down one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Israelite YouTube channel, which was the Awaken Israel. Was that what it's called, King Yazra? It's Awaken Israel. It's Elder Zabak.
No.
They took that down. They took that down a few years ago. So I mean, this is big. I mean, when you're teaching freely and teaching His word and using the First Amendment right, they clearly don't like the First Amendment right, just like they don't like the Second Amendment, which allows you to bear arms. You can see America is a hypocritical nation because their own founding laws that they created, they're now going against it. So to ban TikTok, that's a big deal. Now we're gonna go right into it, unless a brother had a point. Go right into it. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen, and we'll say this too. This is going to be very big. That everyone is watching this. Most are willing. If you haven't already, we're going to show you our new Twitter account, our new X account. So Lord willing, we'll post some videos over there. We'll keep you updated. We'll hit all the current events. We'll retweet those different things as soon as they're happening on the earth. But that's probably the last major platform that we'll be able to use for free of censorship. Right. So let's share the screen. All right. That's not it. Let's go into this thing. So we want to go. Let's go over here. Actually, let's go over here. Can brothers see my screen? Okay, Con. All right, so let's pull this up. So actually, I want to get an article before we get to this. So this is from rollcall.com. You can also I believe we have another site. Yeah, I'm gonna get this first from the NBCnews.com. So it says a TikTok ban, and it just happened today. The TikTok ban bill draws pushback from users as House votes in favor of it. It says President Joe Biden has said he will sign the bill, which could ban TikTok in the U.S. if its Chinese-based owner, ByteDance, refuses to divest the social media app. So supposedly they're upset that a foreign adversary, right, China, is able to have a free speech platform in America, and they don't want certain things to be pushed out on this platform anymore, and they would like it to be more in favor of U.S. ownership. They want someone from America to be able to run the TikTok version that's over here in America, right? So it says the House passed a bill today that could ban TikTok in the U.S. The bill had widespread support from both sides of the aisle, but was opposed by some prominent Democrats and Republicans who largely cited free speech concerns. The bill's future, Salakia, in the Senate is less clear because if you didn't notice how America's Congress is set up, if there's a bill that's introduced by the Congress, whether in the Senate or the House, both sides got to come together and agree upon it, and then it will go to the president and he will sign it. If the House passes a bill, the Senate also has to agree to that bill as well. If they don't, then they will have to come together. They have to figure out something. They would game plan and it would revise the bill. Some bills could escape the Congress and just go directly to the president. And this is where he would use his executive powers, and he would either he would actually just make a new bill. They call them executive orders, or certain things that pass the Congress, maybe pass both houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives, and then they went to the president, and if he didn't like it, he can just veto it. So that's what's going on over there. Now it says Biden has said he would sign the bill. Former President Donald Trump had initially supported banning TikTok, but reversed support in recent days. So again, this is a bigger deal because I believe we already read, this has ramifications over other platforms. It goes into free speech, which is the First Amendment right. Hold on, I'm gonna come back to this right here. Your First Amendment right to freely speak how you want. That's the right that was given to you by being a quote unquote United States citizen. So this is from rollcall.com. It says a TikTok bill heads to the House floor as Trump backs away from the ban. Now it was an important part I wanted. It says the measure goes to the House floor after a 50-0 vote in the House Energy and Commerce Committee on March 7th, just 48 hours after the bill was introduced. And the final vote for the House of Representatives was I think Yatazmak said it earlier, but I look back, it's 352 to 68. So it completely swept this floor, the House Energy and Commerce Committee, completely. It was 50-0. And over in the House of Representatives, it was 352 that voted in favor, meaning it was down for it, and only 68 people said no. Now, let's continue on. We've read most of this, but I wanted to get this right here. So it says, I'm very concerned about foreign adversaries' exploitation of American sensitive data and their attempts to build backdoors in our information communication technology and service supply chains. It says, hold on, Salakia. Yeah, see. It says, these are national security threats, and it is good that members in both chambers are taking them seriously. I will be talking to my Senate and House colleagues to try to find a path forward that is constitutional and protects civil liberties. Right. So again, it's a big deal. It says at the height of the Cold War, which is the war between Russia, Soviet Union, and America, at the height between the late 40s, 1940s, to all the way up until 1991, when the Soviet Union fell. It says at the height of the Cold War in 1965, the Supreme Court held in a Lamont versus Postmaster General case that the First Amendment protects Americans' right to receive information from abroad. So this is already fought. That look, yes, the First Amendment gives you the ability to freely receive information, give information out, but now that's being attacked. It says even if that information at the time was communist propaganda. That was a big thing. You had over in the 60s for the Vietnam War, you had civil rights leaders that was in opposition of not, having our, because predominantly the people that was going over to fight in the Vietnam War was Jake, so-called blacks and Hispanics. So they was primarily sending you out to war in Vietnam. So you had a lot of the civil rights leaders during the time saying, look, don't do that. Don't go out and go fight for a country that's not yours. And we saying the same exact thing right now. Don't sign up for this American Army, the Navy. You watch the commercial on damn late at night, and they got you hooked. They telling you all the benefits you can get by joining the Army, joining the Navy, joining the Marines. You scratching the back of your head. You thinking, man, I might as well get down with that. I can come back home and I could be all you can be. That's what they tell you. Say you could be all you can be. Be a hero. Right? Live on the infamy. Now, that was a big deal during the Vietnam War. And anyone that was opposed to the Vietnam War, they were considered communist. Meaning you was getting down with Russia or China. And you was demonized. The same way they're going to try to do the same thing over here for us that's in favor of this truth, in favor of the Bible. And like I mentioned earlier, Canada has passed a bill. You will be criminalized for teaching the scriptures over in Canada. So we're going to get into it, but the brothers want to get into this?
I wanted to make a point.
Come on.
Real quick. Now, just like the brother was talking about how, what was it? Would you say 2003?
2003. Well, I think it's 2003, the American Patriot Act.
Right. And this is because of 9/11 happening. Right. And that's why the Patriot Act was enacted, because, you just had 9/11 and people want security and things like that. So now you can spy. Now they had different things in the bill to where you can spy on the American population. Right. And this is something that's happening with this bill, because people thinking, because it's a Chinese owned company, that China's manipulating the minds of Americans, and they're taking American like data sharing Americans data, and their different things like that. But this is what they call, I'm gonna share my screen, it's called a Trojan horse, because they just want you to think that. Right. So let me show my screen. They have an agenda behind. They have an agenda more than what they're telling you, right? Just like they had the Patriot Act, and that's why the brother said right after that they had Facebook, you had Twitter come out, because now they put in the act. Now they can spy on the American people. Same thing with this. They're gonna enact this bill if it gets past the Senate and up to the president, and now they're gonna be able to censor Americans. Now they're gonna be able to take away the truth, right? And this is what they call a Trojan horse, right? It says Trojan horse. It's on Wikipedia.com. It says in Greek mythology, the Trojan horse was a wooden horse said to have been used by the Greeks during the Trojan War to enter the city of Troy and win the war. The Trojan horse is not mentioned in Homer's Iliad, with the poem ending before the war is concluded, and it is only briefly mentioned in the Odyssey. But in the Aeneid, or however you say it, by Virgil, after a fruitless 10-year siege, the Greeks constructed a huge wooden horse at the behest of Odysseus and hid a select force of men inside, including Odysseus himself. The Greeks pretended to sail away, and the Trojans pulled the horse into their city as a victory trophy. That night, the Greek force crept out of the horse and opened the gates for the rest of the Greek army, which had sailed back under the cover of darkness. The Greeks entered and destroyed the city, ending the war. It says, metaphorically, a Trojan horse has come to mean any trick or stratagem that causes a target to invite a foe into securely protected bastion or place. A malicious computer program that tricks users into willingly running it is also called a Trojan horse, or simply a Trojan. And that's really the point right there. It says it has come to mean a trick or stratagem that causes a target to invite a foe into securely protected bastion or place. And just like the brother said, that's exactly what the Patriot Act did. People willingly accepted that the Patriot Act because they had what did they call it? Islamophobia, and now they're scared. Now they want protection. Now you got all these bills and all these laws put in place to where they're not even paying attention to the fact that now that my government can spy on them. They're only worried about the fact that, oh, we got protection now. Now they're going to protect us from these different terrorists that could come in, not knowing the agenda, the trick, or the stratagem that's behind it. Right? It says that causes the target to invite a foe into a securely protected bastion. And that's exactly what this is going to do. Right? People are going to invite this thing in because they think they're getting protected from China. They're getting protected from, and that's what they're trying to push, that, oh, China, they own TikTok and they're stealing information and things of that nature. But they have a trick, they have a strategy behind this in order to stop the truth from coming out, in order for people to be censored and information to be censored that they deem is hurtful to their government, to their democracy, and to their agenda. I just wanted to bring that out real quick.
I had a quick point before you tell me I get in there. And this bill, it allows them to not only ban TikTok, but any apps that's from a foreign adversary. So essentially what they could do is they can say that, you know, anything, a new app that popped up. I know Trump, he has his app, Truth Social. They can say Elon Musk and Twitter, because they've been, if you didn't know this, Elon Musk, he's been real big on trying to keep Twitter as free speech as possible. You know, it was a lot before he took over Twitter late last year. It was heavily, you know, a lot of censorship that was going on Twitter. It's a big deal. And since he's taken it over, a lot of people, a lot of sponsorships and a lot of ad revenue he's lost out on, because they will want Twitter to be more controlled, and he wants it not to be controlled. So he changed the name from Twitter to X, and he's trying to allow for as much free speech as possible, so they can say that he's a foreign adversary. And now they can censor Twitter. So now all the major social medias is censored. And now, because Facebook is already censored, you say certain things, they'll remove your Facebook. If anybody that's watching this video has ever been in Facebook jail, just type in the comment section, right? They call it Facebook jail when you on so-called timeout. They suspend your account. They'll stop you from posting. They'll stop you from following people. You can't use your Facebook. Same thing happens with Instagram. So, you know, like we were talking about already with YouTube, these different things, they take down videos, they take down channels. That's called censorship. When you can't say certain things, that's censorship. So for them to pass this bill, it's going to first start with TikTok, but that's everything else, right? Somebody just said, I deleted Facebook after a point. And then somebody also said, Khan. And then the brother Habia from WFI New York says, the TikTok bill also allows America to get private information from other social media platforms to spy out so-called terrorists and national security threats. And we talked about it. If you don't mind, I want to pull up I'll let you go, but I do want to pull up the American Patriot Act.
You got it out.
Okay, Con. So the Water King. So the Patriot Act, and I believe I said it was 2003. It was actually 2001. So the Patriot Act is right here, the U.S. Patriot Act. It was a landmark act of the United States Congress, right? Just like we have it right here. Signed into law by President George W. Bush. Now, let's get into it. So the whole goal, it says it required to intercept and obstruct terrorism, the Act of 2001, and the commonly used short name is a contrived acronym that is embedded in a name set forth in the statute. You know, here's the gist of it. It says the Patriot Act was enacted. So like I'm gonna make this bigger. It says when enacted following the September 11 attacks and the 2001 anthrax attacks, with the stated goal of tightening U.S. national security, particularly as it related to foreign terrorism. It says, in general, the act included 3 main provisions: expanded surveillance abilities of law enforcement, including tapping domestic and international phones. They can listen to you on your phone. What happened after that? You have in 2007, you had the iPhone. It dropped. You got 2008, you got the Android phone and from Google, and the Android platform. Now all these different companies like Samsung, Huawei, all these different companies creating different phones for Android. And you got all these really only iPhone that's on the app, that's under Apple to be able to create that phone. But now guess what? Now they can listen to you. They can see you on FaceTime. You got a Face ID. You scan your face and it unlocks your phone. You use a fingerprint reader. You got to use your fingerprint to unlock your phone. You understand? He's looking at all your messages. You sending out messages. You doing this. You doing that. They listening to them phones, them phone calls. Right? Now let's read on. Now again, this is a part of the American Patriot Act of 2001. It says easier. It's like an easier interrogancy communication to allow federal agencies like the FBI, the CIA, the NSA to more effectively use all available resources in counter-terrorism efforts. It also says increase penalties for terrorism crimes and an expanded list of activities which will qualify for terrorism charges. So this gave the American government the ability to spy on our own U.S. citizens. Essentially, what the CIA does, they spy on other countries. They use spies to go out in other countries and set up different embassies, set up different coups to overthrow a government. They do those different things, but this act allowed for American citizens and everything that's on American soil to now operate the same way, for America to have the control over their own citizens, right? So that, and we know that 9/11 attack, it wasn't a real thing. I mean, it happened, but we understand that it was and they may even try to take the video down because of that. But we understand that was an inside job. I mean, if you got eyes to see and ears to hear, we understand how they got down with that, right? We're not afraid to say that. Now, you also have a man named Edward Snowden. Let me stop sharing my screen. But you have Edward Snowden, who came out in 2008, it's like in 2012, and spoke out against that. And him speaking out against it, they sent him. He had to flee, and he's in exile over in Russia. But if he ever would have come back to America for telling the truth about American government spying on our own citizens, they're going to give him the Espionage Act, which is he's considered a foreign adversary. He's a spy for Russia, and he's going to be killed. Gonna give him the needle. They just passed a new law. I think one of the Watchmen Wednesdays we went into it. They passed a law that there is new death penalties for the new ways they can kill you in a death penalty. You already had the beheading. You have electric chair. You got the needle, right? And you also have the nitrogen gas chamber that they'll give you. So all of that is to say it's bigger than the TikTok being banned. But you got it, King.
Brothers broke it down mightily. I want to put out a video, and it's madness. I'm gonna say that, and it's just a foreshowing of what's going to happen to the Israelites, man. We're bringing this stuff out to show you that this stuff is going to happen to us, man. So we can't throw our hands up and say, well, where did this come from? Or why are they lying against me? Or why are they been making a smear campaign with my face plastered on the damn newspaper or whatever media platform they got? Can't throw up your hands and say, well, why are they lying against me? Thou shalt not bear false witness. You go to Esau, you break it down. Hey, you're going off. Thou shalt not bear false witness. You pull out a couple precepts on him. No, we can't do that. We gotta deal with it. This is going to happen. Let me get a quick precept. What happened to our king, man? Yahweh Shai. against the wicked men of his nation, the Pharisees, when they delivered him up to Pilate. And Pilate, he ran with it. So let's read it. Luke chapter 23 and verse 1. And the whole multitude of them arose and led him unto Pilate. And they began to accuse him, saying, we found this fellow perverting the nation. And when did Yahushua ever pervert the nation? What account in the Gospels, did Yahushua pervert the nation? Just in there, just causing havoc, turning things upside down, making men go astray, go off, forsake the law. When did Yahushua do that, man? No, Yahushua, he brought men back to the law. He gave men grace and mercy. He brought men back through faith and following him. And the Pharisees, hey, they got envious because they understood with him coming through, they were going to lose their place. Let's keep reading. And forbidding to give tribute to Caesar. And when did Yahushua ever do that? Did Yahushua not say, render unto Caesar the things that are for Caesar? When did Yahushua say, don't give tribute to Caesar? Get this, live on the run. Just do what you want. You're a king. You're an Israelite. And then next week we're gonna overthrow the damn Roman. He never said that. He never moved like that. So to say that, they're lying against him. Let's keep reading. Saying that he himself is Christ a king. So these men, hey, they try to lie against Yahushua. And that's gonna come back on a mass level. You're going to have men that are going to lie against the Israelites. Lie against us, man, straight up. They're going to say we said certain things. They're going to say that we did certain things. There's going to be a smear campaign. I might have to look that up real quick just to give Israel a little. We're gonna share my screen and look that up real quick. Slovakia. Just let me know if I'm in there. And I got a quick video too that I want to share to show you what I'm talking about.
You sharing your screen, King?
Come on, all praises. Smear campaign meaning. We'll say definition. Now, this is the definition of smear campaign. A plan to discredit a public figure by making false or dubious accusations. And that's going to happen on a mass level with the Israelites. Hey, you brother that's been dropping videos, man, on fire, building up the nation. Hey, they're going to make a smear campaign about you. They're going to tie your videos. They're going to say, well, you said this, and they're going to cut it out here. One moment in the video, you're wearing a black shirt, and then the next moment, just like that, you're wearing a blue shirt. It's on a different day. You have a different meeting on. And they're going to try to cut it and say things. They're going to do a smear campaign. They're going to make false or dubious accusations, man. A smear campaign, also referred to as a smear tactic or simply a smear, is an effort to damage or call into question someone's reputation. And they're going to try to do that on a mass level. And they're going to use that to shut us down, man. Because they're going to call into question our reputation. They're going to say, are these men, are they really the so-called servants of the Lord? Look what they're teaching. They're teaching against America. Didn't the Lord say God bless America? And they're going to say things like that. Didn't God bless America? And then they're going to try to smear our reputation and then shut us down completely like that. And that's going to come to pass. And we're going to see the video because that's what they're doing to TikTok right now. It says it makes use of discrediting tactics. It can be applied to individuals or groups. So they might make a whole smear campaign against WFI, man. They might do a damn highlight play of all the times that we were gang on the heathen, all the times we might have damn got on Jake, and there was a contention because you got to deal with a stiff neck of our people. They might make a damn highlight reel of we're not gonna get into it, but they might make a highlight reel on us, man. They're just chopping up videos. and putting it together and slapping it out and saying, hey, look, these men, they're terrorists. They're danger. We have to take away what they're doing. They're a danger to your kids, a danger to what you got going on in America. And you know, people are going to roll with that. You know, they're going to, well, yeah, the U.S. Senate said that the Israelites, they can't stream no more. No more watching what, okay. They're going to roll with it. Why? Because, you know, these men, they trust the men. And not Yahweh Shemay outside. But let's watch this video real quick. Am I still sharing?
Khan, you good, King?
Khan, all praise the Most High.
Okay.
Now, I want Israel to watch this video and let me know if the sound's on.
Khan, I got you. Nah, it's not.
It's not?
Wow.
Hold up. Let's see what we can do. Let's see. Hold up. I might not click the share allow. Yeah. Hold up. Yeah, I didn't. See that? Damn.
Khan, you good now?
Khan, all praises. Let me know if you hear it.
TikTok is not available in mainland China.
Khan, you in there?
Khan, all praises. I'm gonna start from the beginning. And brothers and sisters, listen into this. See what they did.
Not available in mainland China. We have moved the data into a
Salakia King, is this the TikTok CEO, right?
which is
Right. Now, yeah, I'll just give a little explanation. Now, this is a TikTok CEO. It's like Shin T something. Hold up. It's like Shu Z Chow. Shu Z Chow, the TikTok CEO. Now, listen to what they're saying. Listen, this is him against the so-called the Congress or the Senate.
TikTok is not available in mainland China. We have moved the data into an American cloud
TikTok
infrastructure.
is controlled by ByteDance, which is subject to this law. Now, you said earlier, and I wrote this down, we have not been asked for any data by the Chinese government, and we have never provided it. I'm going to tell you, and I told this when you and I met last week in my office, I do not believe you. And I'll tell you, the American people don't either. If you look at what is on TikTok in China, you are promoting to kids science and math videos, educational videos, and you limit the amount of time kids can be on TikTok. In the United States, you are promoting to kids self-harm videos and anti-Israel propaganda.
Yeah, you see that? You see what he said right there? Kind of paused because it wasn't rolling off the tongue. Because he had a lie, man. It said that they're promoting self-harm videos and anti-Israel propaganda. What's Israel, or what are we as the Israelites, what are we doing, man? We are so-called promoting anti-Israel propaganda. We're so-called anti-Semitists, and you know we are whatchamacallit, damn racist and with all these terms against the so-called Jewish man, and we're in the same boat. This man, he's what's his name, Ted Cruz or something? He's using the term self-harm and anti-Israel propaganda to push out that they have to ban TikTok. And that's not even true. They're just saying things. They're saying things. How is damn TikTok promoting anti-Israel propaganda? How? It doesn't make any sense. And it says self-harm videos. Yeah, this is what I need Israel to understand. Hey, these men, they're gonna lie, and they're gonna use things and say things to get their way. That's how Esau has always been. They're deceptive, and they're gonna use deception to try to damn come against the children of Israel, man. With the damn the slithering tongue of their mouths, man, like a serpent. So let's keep watching.
Why is there such a dramatic difference?
Senator, that is just not accurate. There is
There's
a lot
not
of
a difference.
Salakia King, can you rewind that, Baba Gasha?
Khan, let me rewind that real quick.
Somebody might have just tuned in. They, might not have heard that.
Self-harm videos.
Oh, let me go back a little farther.
United States, you are videos and you limit the amount of time kids can be on TikTok. In the United States, you are promoting to kids self-harm videos and anti-Israel propaganda.
And it seemed like he had to read off a script. You know, you gotta go in there. You gotta say this. This is how it's gonna be in the day, man. When we're set before our kings and judges that no man has ever seen, and brought to councils for Yahweh's name, they're gonna say things. They're gonna be reading off a list, you know, because they know it's not true, man. They're gonna bring false witnesses against you. It's all throughout the scripture. This is going to happen, and they're gonna try to shut down the truth. It has to happen. Let me get a quick precept before we keep watching. This is Matthew chapter 26. I'm going to start at verse 57. And they that had laid hold on Yahushua led him away to Caiaphas the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. But Peter followed him afar off unto the high priest's palace, and went in and sat with the servants to see the end. Now the chief priests and elders and all the council sought false witness against Yahushua to put him to death. And men are going to seek false witness against Israel, man, against the true servants of the Lord. Those are repentant. Those are loving their own neighbor. Those are loving their brothers and sisters and keeping the commandments to the best of their ability. They're going to seek false witness against you, man. They're going to seek false witness and try to discredit you, try to make it seem, hey, like you're the so-called enemy. And they're going to try to do that, man. And you know, for a season, they're going to succeed. And you're going to have men that are then trying to that are down with them, man. And banding together to shut down the so-called Israelites. You're going to have wicked people on the earth like that. This is the lot that you have to get ready for. And the cup which you have to drink. You know, Yahushua, he went through it. We got to go through the same thing. You know, so they're going to try to shut down the truth through discrediting, through false accusations, man. They're going to bring up accounts like this. And they might bring Israelite to the damn Senate, man, and be grilling him like they're grilling this damn Moabite. They might do that. And try to grill him and say, well, you can't, you represent the nation of Israel. Now the Israelites, they can't teach no more because they bring anti-Israel propaganda. And they promote terroristic acts within America. This all can happen. So let's keep reading. Oh, Salaki, let's keep watching.
Such a dramatic difference?
Salaki, can you turn the volume up? Somebody had asked for that in the comments.
Okay, Con, Salaki. Oh, let me see. Let's see. Let's start right around here.
TikTok. In the United States, you are promoting to kids self-harm videos and anti-Israel propaganda. Why is there such a dramatic difference?
Senator, that is just not accurate. There's
not a difference between what kids see in China and what kids see here?
Senator, TikTok is not available in China. It's a separate experience.
So look, these men, I'm gonna get one more video. You know, these men, they were lying against this Moabite. So Jake, what do you think they're gonna do to you? They're gonna bring you up here, they're gonna make smear campaigns, and they're gonna try to shut this truth down and persecute the ones that were pushing it out, man. This is coming to pass. There's going to be mass censorship of the Bible. It's going to be called hate speech. If you're talking about the Bible, they're going to say, "Why are you talking about that?" And they might throw you in the back of a van and bring you to an unknown destination because the truth is going to be censored. There's not going to be mass videos being put out. You know, brothers going on a live 3 times a week. That's not going to happen. This bill of them banning TikTok is what's to come to the Bible on a deeper and more severe level. Let's watch this video, and you gotta tune in to these things and see what they're doing. because they're doing this to a Moabite. You can only imagine what they're going to do to the servants of the Lord, man.
So,
Can brothers hear?
Con, that's good.
Con, I'm going.
So, you said today, as you often say, that you live in Singapore. Of what nation are you a citizen?
Singapore.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation in Singapore. No, I did not.
Do you have a Singaporean passport?
Yes, and I served my military for two
Do
and
you
a half
ha-
years in
Do you
Singapore.
have any other? Do you have any other passports from any other nations?
No, Senator.
Your wife is an American citizen. Your children are American citizens.
That's
Have
correct.
Have you ever applied for American citizenship?
No, not yet.
Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever?
And you see that? He said, I'm Singaporean about 5 times. Yet this man right here, he has an agenda. He said, will you ever tied in with the Chinese Communist Party? You think that's going to happen, or that's not going to happen with the servants of the Lord? Or them trying to shut down this truth? They're going to say, do you have ties with, they might say Hamas. They might say the Russian Communist Party. They might say, do you have ties with China? Do you have ties with this? Do you have ties with... They're going to come and say that against you, Israel. They're going to come and say that. They're saying it against this Moabite who said, I'm Singaporean 15 times. Talking about, do you have ties to the Chinese Communist Party? And he had to reinstate and say, no, I told you I'm Singaporean to the senator, because he has an agenda. He wants TikTok shut down. The same way that it might be the very same man, the same way that they're going to want this truth to be shut down. You can go to as much precepts as you want. You could talk about Jesus Christ all day, and you're reading instead of saying Yahweh Shai, you say Jesus Christ. No, they're going to still shut this truth down because they don't want nothing out the Bible to be spoken. Because why is testifying against them? Let's keep watching. I'll play it back right here.
Member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm
Okay.
Singaporean.
Let me ask you some hopefully simple questions.
See that? So that man, he had an agenda to take down or to smear a smear campaign against that man to take down his platform. That's coming on a mass level with the Israelites, man. We have to understand. And the brother was going into it, man. That's where you got things like the Patriot Act and this and that. Look, they want full control, man. When you really look into it, it's because they have no control over TikTok. The same way they have no control over the truth. That's coming in. So they'll create unrighteous laws to try to gain control over society in America. I got one more precept, then guys, so you got it. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Because these men, that's an unrighteous decree. And it's an unrighteous decree because they're being hypocrites. Like the brothers went into, you got the Patriot Act. They're spying on what you're doing right now. Yet when you go into the whole spiel on what they're arguing is that they're saying that our information and our so-called privacy and security is being sold unto the Chinese government, and that our security and safety is in the threat. They're the same people that are spying on you, man, that have all the things that you got going on through your phone. Your phone right here, it's the number one spying device. We're going to put it out like that. You know, they're listening right now, tuned in. You know, they're probably in the back of a van. You know, park 3. And look, you viewing, they're probably parked there 3 blocks away from your crib, man. Them tune in with a damn, like in the movies. They got the damn headphones in. You got 3 people sitting at the computer inside the FBI van. They're drinking coffee. They've been there all night. They're probably doing that to you right now, Israel. It says they banned TikTok, but not the LGBTQ community. talking about self-harm to the children, what the things they promote to the children. Exactly. That's why the Lord said, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees. These men, they're hypocrites. They are hypocrites. And that's just plain and simple. And that's why they're coming so hard against TikTok. And then next, this truth, because they're being exposed on a mass level. You know, but brothers got it.
Con, and I got a precept. This is Proverbs 12 and 19. It says, the lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. You see that? So the Bible says that the lip of truth is going to be established forever, and that's what's going on right now. Their lying and their deceit and their wicked governments and everything, it had a time. It says lies shall be but for a moment, and they had this moment. But now truth is coming out. And that's why they're working overtime to try to censor people. You got every time you go on damn TikTok, or I don't have a TikTok, but if you go on, say you go on Instagram or say you go on Twitter, you got fact checkers, you got all these different modes of operation to censor the truth. And you can't even decipher what's truth and what's not, right? But we're here to decipher what's the truth and what's not, right? So I had a video, and the brother mentioned it earlier. It's about it's this guy. He was on Tucker Carlson's show, and if you're not tapped in with these different whistleblowers and these different truth tellers and these different people exposing the government, you got to get on it. You got Tucker Carlson, you got Redacted, you got what's the other show that brothers watch? You got Canadian Prepper, you got Mark Fogel News. You got all these different people on YouTube, on Twitter, on these different social media platforms, bringing out truth, bringing out and deciphering the lies that the government is telling, and bringing out truth, right? So I wanted to go to this video real quick. It's a little longer. I don't know if brothers is okay with that. Y'all cool with that? It's probably about 7-8 minutes.
Con, that's cool. Can I get a quick precept?
Yeah, go ahead.
Con, it's the book of St. John, chapter 15, and I'm going to start at verse 18. It says, if the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love his own. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Here's the point. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. And the saying that they kept of the Lord, they documented all his words to try to trip him up against his words. And they had false witnesses come out against his words. So how much more us today, when the Lord said, if they already done it to their servant is not greater than his Lord, if they have kept my sayings, they will keep yours also. So they're going to use these different platforms. They're going to do these different things. We just saw them try to grill the CEO of TikTok and just lie. Why was that? Why, if their main concern is that TikTok is a Chinese adversary, right? The owner of it is a Chinese adversary and is spying on the American people. Why did he come out, Ted Cruz come out and say it's about self-harm and it's anti-Israel? That's what it really is all about. It's really about, okay, are they going to teach the young children or are they going to be teaching against Israel? Nothing about America. It didn't say anti-American. It said self-harm against the children and anti-Israel. You got it, King.
And a quick point, and we know all things that tie to the truth, what I perceive through the spirit, and I'm sure brothers perceive it too, that anti-Israel is not talking about pro-Palestinian, how they're just throwing out pro-Palestinian. No, it's talking about Israel, man. Our people were waking up, on a mass level on all platforms, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, especially Twitter. We're waking up on a mass level. So, You know, those things they're coming for them next, man. You know, you're not gonna be in Jacob's trouble scrolling on damn Facebook, man. You know, on Twitter. Oh, where y'all at? What y'all got going on? That's not gonna happen, man. And can someone break down Deuteronomy the 14th chapter and Leviticus, the 11th chapter again for me? I want to see what's clean and unclean. That's not happening. They're coming to shut down the truth on a mass level. But Slug, you got it, Yazra. You mute, Ken.
Okay, Kanye, I just peeped it. But yeah, I wanted to go into this video real quick. And this guy, he's coming out and he's really telling you the depths and how deep it is, how deep this censorship goes, and that it didn't just start. Well, it just really started because of social media. And then he's going to tell you how they didn't see social media getting this big, right? And how they're dealing with social media now as something that's new. So now they're trying to sway away from that old amendment, free speech, because what's it called wasn't around when free speech was here, or when that amendment was enacted. So let me share this real quick. Let me know if brothers can hear it when I play it.
John.
It'd be taking forever.
Internet. 2016. One thing on what you just
Yeah, you in there.
Okay, come on. All right, we're gonna watch this real quick.
mentioned, which is that, you know, from their perspective, they just weren't ready for the internet. 2016 was
If y'all got a point, just let me know. I'll pause it too. It's a little long.
On what you just mentioned, which is that, you know, from their perspective, they just weren't ready for the internet. 2016 was really the first time that social media had reached such maturity that it began to eclipse legacy media. I mean, this was a long time coming. I think folks saw this building from 2006 through 2016. You know, Internet 1.0 didn't even have social media. From 1991 to 2004, there was no social media at all. 2004, Facebook came out. 2005, Twitter. 2006, YouTube. 2007, the smartphone. And so, and in that initial period of social media, nobody was getting subscriberships at the level where they actually competed with legacy news media.
And I wanted to bring this out. I have a preset because he's saying that the government and these powers that be, they weren't expecting social media to be what it is now, and the platform of telling truth that it is now, or overtaking these different news media that they have like they are right now. Right? They weren't ready for this thing. And like the brother said, these platforms at first were made to spy out the American citizen. But now it's turning into something that is a trap for them, and it's causing their downfall. Right? This is the book of Psalms, chapter 7 and verse 15. I'll start at 14. It says, "Behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and hath conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehood." Verse 15 is the point. It says, "He made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made." You see that? So the white man in America, the powers that be, they made social media to spy on the people, to really tyranny, right? Acts of tyranny to oppress the population of America. But now it's turning back on their own head. They dig the ditch, and now they've fallen into the ditch that they dug in the first place, right? It was never meant to be a platform to tell truth, or really all they really want on social media is sports and their news outlets, CNN, NBC, ABC, Fox. They want folly, different dances and different contests and different challenges and things like that. They never thought it would get to this point where you have people having dissident voices and speaking up against the government. People that used to be like this dude right here used to be in places of power in the government, now coming out and whistleblowing against the government. Right? Did that brother have a point? If not, I'm gonna continue to play it.
Yeah, I got a quick point.
Yeah, go ahead, Ken.
This guy you see right here, I mentioned it earlier. I actually forget his actual name, but he was a top guy, a part of the cyber department over in America, right? So he's a top guy. He's speaking from experience, and although this video is an hour long, Baba Gashad, check it out. When we checked it out 2 weeks ago. Yazra had checked it out, and I mean, it's just I had to honestly go back a few times and watch this video. He's breaking it down, and he's speaking clearly. You can understand he's speaking from experience. He's speaking from knowledge, right? You know, so on and so forth. The point of the matter is, this guy, he's speaking. Really, what I mean to say is he has authority when he's speaking, right? So definitely check it out if you got an hour to spare. Little when you can, because he's going into really the different agenda behind these different presidents. He talks about the elections being rigged, giving out proof on it being rigged, calling out names. So definitely check it out if you got a chance to do so. You got it, Joe King.
Yeah, kind of. If you don't know who Tucker Carlson is, this used to be their top guy at Fox. This used to be the highest ratings, and everybody watched Tucker Carlson. They're right-wing media, but he was like he was one of the top mass media news reporters in America. Right? You watch him now, and he was at one point he was Fox News bringing out their agendas and all of this, but now he's did a total 180 and is speaking totally against what he used to be in. Right? All these government, the CIA operations. So he's speaking from a perspective where he used to be in this, and he can see the corruption. He can see these things being played out, right? So I'm gonna continue to play
it. At the level where they actually competed with legacy news media. But over the course of being, so initially even these dissident voices within the U.S., even though they may have been loud in moments, they never reached 30 million followers. They never reached a billion impressions a year type thing. As a uncensored, mature ecosystem allowed citizen journalists and independent voices to be able to outcompete legacy news media. This induced a massive crisis both in our military and in our State Department and intelligence services. I'll give you a great example of this. In 2019,
so basically what I want to break it down for the people, for the audience, basically what he's saying is they never seen it getting to a point where you have independent streamers competing and outdoing these mass media news productions like your every night 2020 or is it? I think it's 20 or 60 Minutes. You got 2020, your Fox News at 6 o'clock. Whatever mass media, whatever thing you watch on TV, they never foresaw independent people on social media getting to the point where they're competing and having more viewership than these different mass media that they have. Right.
At meeting of the German Marshall Fund, which is an institution that goes back to the U.S. Basically. I don't want to say bribe, but essentially the economic soft power projection in Europe as part of the reconstruction of European governments after World War II to be able to essentially pay them with Marshall Fund dollars. And then in return, they basically were under our thumb in terms of how they reconstructed. But the German Marshall Fund held a meeting in 2019. They held 1 million of these, frankly, but where a 4-star general got up on the panel and said that what happens. He posed the question: what happens to the U.S. military? What happens to the national security state when the New York Times is reduced to a medium-sized Facebook page? And he posed this thought experiment as an example of we've had these gatekeepers, we've had these bumper cars on democracy in the form of a century-old relationship with legacy media institutions. I mean, our main.
So basically, our general, he posed a question at this conference and said, what happens if these different, when he says legacy media, he's talking about the CBS, ABC, NBC. He says, what happens if they're reduced to the size of a medium-sized Facebook page? And that's basically what it's at right now. And I wanted to bring out a couple, we're going to get back to this. I don't know if brothers have a point or not, but I wanted to bring out an article real quick because that's exactly what's happening. People aren't watching these different news. They're not watching your everyday CBS and things of that nature no more, right? Most people, they're doing what? They're streaming. They're getting their news from independent journalists and things of that nature. Nobody's watching these big conglomerate news medias anymore. If this wants to work, that'd be great. Let me share this tab real quick. Can brothers see what I'm sharing?
You have the are you good now?
You good now?
Forward.
Okay, kind of, yeah, forward. It's kind of moving slow. Salakia. It says once again in 2023, many cable networks had a decline in audience. So this has been an ongoing thing to where there's a shift, right? I used to watch ESPN a lot. I used to watch First Take, but now nobody's watching First Take. Everybody's getting their sports news from Shannon Sharp, or they're getting it from Cam Newton's podcast, or Paul George, or Draymond Green. Nobody's getting their basketball news. Nobody's waking up in the morning and watching ESPN, watching Stephen A. Smith no more. Right? Everybody got their podcast or their stream that they're watching, and this is something, or go on social media. This is something that they didn't foresee, and that's what he was saying. They didn't foresee Facebook, social media getting this big. So I'm gonna read this. It says the decline in viewing on most cable networks continued in 2023. The fall off comes from the prevalence of cord cutting, meaning people are getting rid of cable. Right? Nobody's watching cable. Nobody has cable anymore. Everybody's streaming. You got Hulu Live, you got YouTube TV, you got Netflix. See that? So nobody's watching these different news medias anymore. It says cord cutting coupled with premium content and subsequently viewers leaving cable television for streaming platforms. Also in 2023, any original scripted content still airing on cable television was impacted from the work stoppages of screenwriters and actors. As a result, in 2023, the first time in recent memory, not one cable network maintained a primetime average audience in excess of 2 million viewers. So we're saying there's not one cable network out there that maintain a primetime average of over 2 million viewers. And how many people are in America? I think it's somewhere up there, almost at 400 million, I think, about now. So they're not even maintaining 2 million viewers. Let me read on. It says the audience erosion follows current trends. According to Nielsen, last year, only Fox News, talking about last year, only Fox News averaged more than 2 million views. 10 years ago, when cord cutting and streaming video were both in a nascent stage, there had been 6 cable networks that averaged over 2 million primetime viewers. USA, ESPN, Disney Channel, History Channel, TNT, and TBS. Can't remember the last time I watched USA. Can't remember the last time I watched the damn, wow, we grown, but the Disney Channel, History Channel, TNT, TBS. The most I'll do is watch maybe basketball games on TNT and TBS. ESPN. Nobody's watching these cable news networks because everybody, again, is streaming. It says, furthermore, in 2023, there were only 3 cable networks that sustained an average audience above 1 million viewers, compared to 5 in 2022. By comparison, now this is just 10 years ago. It says in 2013, there were 19 cable networks that averaged over 1 million viewers. So 10 years ago, there was 19. How many did it say was now over 2 million? Where are we at? It says, yeah, it says only 3. So people are stop watching these mainstream media, which is really just a mouthpiece for the CIA. And I want to go into that too later on in the video. But Nobody's watching these things anymore because, again, everybody's watching these independent news. They're either streaming or watching independent journalists, independent news, and getting away from mass media because they're finding out that they're not telling them the truth. Right? Anybody got a point? Real quick? No?
You got it, King.
Okay, come on. I'm gonna continue on in the video.
It's still loading right now. I'm gonna get a quick preset.
Okay, it's playing on my end. I don't know why.
Oh, Con.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Con. And like the brothers going into, because we can see that the things of America is crumbling, right? Years ago, even as early as last year, Tucker Carlson, he was with Fox News, right? And then I believe as soon as he left last year, they lost like something like $1 billion or something like that overnight, like $900 million or something. You can tell us if we're wrong in the comments, but they lost a lot of money when this man decided to go independent. But who's been independent? There's Truth been independent, right? You don't have no mainstream TV shows or networks, cable networks that's talking about the truth.
Right.
Everyone is talking about folly and trying to keep you seduced and keep your mind occupied on the things of the world. But this truth is crumbling all of this, right? It's more and more of our brothers and sisters each and every day that's waking up. We're not watching damn Love and Hip Hop and those different things you once was doing. Now you coming further into this truth and being built upon Yahweh Shem Shai. And as you see, evidently, it's crumbling in their society and the things they once was using to control the masses, right? So I had a quick precept. Now, again, they hate that, right? So this is the book of, I want to get this real quick in Habakkuk. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. Salakia. I believe that's what I want. Right, it might be Con. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse. I'll start at 16. I'll start at 15. Habakkuk 2 and 16 or 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on our nakedness. And that's what America wanted to do, to look upon our nakedness, to keep us in sin, to keep us docile, and continue to keep to pretty much have us and feed us as sheep to the slaughter, to be destroyed, right? But the Lord is waking us up. It says, thou art filled with shame for glory, drink thou also. Now the Lord is making them drink. As they exposed us, they had us out here, right? We literally just damn going to hood. See our people they're out there, they're lost. They don't know what the hell is going on. They're in darkness, right? It says, thou art filled with shame for glory, drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. It's shameful spewing. Us even going into the live stream is a shameful spewing. Having your own people of your own nation, Edomites, Tucker Carlson and Mike Benz, that's the other guy's name. I was trying to figure out his name, but he's again, he used to be the former head of all the cyber portfolio for the U.S. Congress, for the government. And essentially he managed checking in with the different CEOs of these different platforms to try to continue to push their narrative on these different platforms. That's how he knows so much of what's going on, because he used to be that guy to do so. Now, the Lord said, shameful spewing shall be upon thy glory. America's once glorious, but now they're being exposed. The Lord said they will be exposed in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. I'm going to get this quick precept, and you got it, King. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and I'm going to get verse 3. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse number 3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, right? The Israelites falling away from the Lord. It says, except there come a falling away first, and that man and sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And I'm going to jump to verse 9, but the son of perdition is being revealed. The wicked has been revealed. We know who he is. He's right on your screen. If I'm not mistaken, if you still, I don't know if you can see this screen, if it's still on this the Forbes article, but you got the white men on this damn screen, right? It says Purdue Global. So we understand that they're being revealed. The white man has been revealed as a son of perdition according to the Bible, right? And now we switched over. You got Tucker Carlson and Mike Benz, right? So let's read on. It says, the son of perdition, I'm going to jump to verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. What's the spirit of the Lord's mouth? The truth. This Bible is consuming the so-called white man. That's why they want to ban it. We still got this article pulled up. Canada has passed a bill to ban teaching about the Bible, quoting the scriptures at any cost. They actually passed the law already. And Canada is right up this to the north of the border of America. They're going to pass some same laws over in America. There's hate speech laws already in place in the EU, European Union. So for everyone that's over in the Europe, it's like a Europe, you understand that there's already laws set in place for you teaching against the Bible, or it's like a teaching with the Bible and teaching against their society. Wherever you know, it says, and shall consume with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. So the Lord said they're going to perish. The truth is going to cut them up. That's why they hate this. They put these different things in place, but at the end of the day, it's all about taking the servants of the Lord off the highways and byways, and for them never to hear this dreadful sound in their ears again. But of course, it's going to happen, right? It's going to happen. They can't do nothing against this truth. You got it, King.
You're talking about, did you have a point?
Nah, you can keep playing.
Okay. We're gonna keep going on
This thought experiment as an example of we've had these gatekeepers, we've had these bumper cars on democracy in the form of a century-old relationship with legacy media institutions. I mean, our mainstream media is not in any shape or form, even from its outset, independent from the national security state, from the State Department, from the War Department. You had the initial, all of the initial broadcast news companies, NBC, ABC, and CBS, were all created by Office of War Information veterans from the War Department's effort in World War II. You had these Operation Mockingbird relationships from the 1950s to the 1970s. Those continued through the use of the National Endowment for Democracy.
And he brought up the Operation Mockingbird, right? And brothers and sisters, if you don't know what that is, I wanted to go into that real quick. Right? I have an article about that. And it's just showing you that the media, all these mainstream media, this is why the government calls the people sheep, because they're being led. All of their opinions and all of their thoughts are manufactured by the mass media and it's really by the hand of the CIA through the mass media. And this is why you can see the Mossad moving to expose this place by people getting away from mass media. Right now, I'm gonna read through this real quick. It says, unmasking Operation Mockingbird, the disturbing tale of media manipulation and its lasting impact on truth. See that? On truth. The most their own understanding of their history. It says, in the annals of American history, few clandestine operations have cast as large a shadow on the nation's media landscape as Operation Mockingbird. This sinister yet fascinating chapter reveals a disturbing tale of media manipulation orchestrated by the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, during the Cold War era. The impact of this operation resonates through time, raising crucial questions about truth, integrity, and the very nature of democracy. And like the brother was going into, the CIA is a spying agency that goes out to different countries and nations. They set up coups. They manipulate the minds of the people through their media and things of that nature. But at certain point in time, it became a domestic affair too. And they used the CIA and our media, not our media, but this country's media, to manipulate the minds of the people. And that's what it's going to go into real quick. where was I at? It says the birth of Operation Mockingbird. Operation Mockingbird, launched in the 1950s, was a covert CIA initiative designed to influence and control media outlets both domestically and internationally. The agency's aim to manipulate news stories, shape public opinion, and disseminate propaganda, all in the name of combating the spread of communism. So it started out to be to combat communism, but through time, it really just became a mouthpiece of the CIA, a mouthpiece of the government, these different mass media. And this is why in Nahum, the 3rd chapter, it says this is the place that uses witchcraft and sorcery, and that's exactly what it is. Right? You're manipulating news to manipulate the people's mind and using propaganda to manufacture people's opinions and thoughts. Right? It says the agency effectively sought to guide public discourse in a manner aligned with its political agenda. See that? I'm gonna read this stanza and then we're gonna get back to the video. It says one of the most alarming aspects of Operation Mockingbird was its ability to distort the truth. Journalists, all often unaware of the CIA ties, unknowingly became mouthpieces for the agency's narratives. Stories were slanted, facts were manipulated, and dissenting voices were silenced. As a result, the American public was fed a distorted version of reality, blurring the lines between genuine journalism and government propaganda. And that's why they're trying so hard to censor social media, because people are going away from these mass media news platforms because they're seeing that it's not the truth, right? And they're seeing the actual truth coming out, the Bible, right? And that we're linking up with the Bible that these people are corrupt, and people are starting to see that, right? So I want to play a couple more seconds of this, and then I'll pass it.
In the privatization of intelligence capacities in the 1980s under Reagan. There's all sorts of CIA reading room memos you can read even on CIA.gov about those continued media relations throughout the 1990s. And so you always had this backdoor relationship between the Washington Post, the New York Times, and all of the major broadcast media corporations. By the way, Rupert Murdoch and Fox are part of this as well. Rupert Murdoch was actually part of the National Endowment for Democracy Coalition in 1983 when it was formed as a way to do CIA operations in an above board way after the Democrats were so ticked off at the CIA for manipulating student movements in the 1970s. But essentially, there was no CIA intermediary to random citizen journalist accounts. There was no Pentagon backstop. You couldn't get a story killed. You couldn't have this favors for favors relationship. You couldn't promise access to some random person with 700,000 followers who's got an opinion on Syrian gas. And so this induced, and this was not a problem for the initial period of social media from 2006 to 2014, because there were never dissident groups that were big enough to be able to have a mature enough ecosystem on their own. And all of the victories on social media had gone in the way of where the money was, which was from the State Department and the Defense Department and the intelligence services.
And that's really all I really wanted to play. It was a little more that I wanted, like you mentioned, how they censored the election and everything, but I just wanted to show that, to show why they're banning these things, why they're trying to ban TikTok and social media, because they don't have control of the minds of the people anymore. And that's what it was all set up on, right? That's what America was set up on, was manipulating the minds of the people. And now they don't have the minds of the people. Now the Bible has the minds of our people. That's why you see people leaving the church, because people are realizing the churches, they was manipulating the minds of the people as well. So the Lord, the Most High, he has truth going throughout the earth. Even in Isaiah, the 60th chapter, it says, arise, shine, for thy light has come. It says, for darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. And that's what's been happening. But what? The Most High, he's bringing this whole thing to light, and he's exposing America for what they really are. But you got it, King.
Calm.
I
You got it, King.
I had a quick point, just to go into that. They had I believe it was the First World War One. I believe so. They had a thing called yellow journalism, I believe. Was that one or two?
That was the Spanish. That was the Spanish American War.
Spanish American War. Slovakia. That was the Spanish American War. We're gonna go into that real quick because Yazar he brought up a good point. Let's share this real quickly. And they have to do this, man. They have to do this. And like Yazar said, this is why people aren't listening to them no more, man. Because people are exposed, or their lives have been exposed. These men, they are liars. Esau is a liar. The so-called white man is a liar. The rulers, the Senate, their presidents, they're liars. Now, this is yellow journalism, was a style of newspaper reporting that emphasized sensationalism over facts. And even this damn definition, man, is crafty. It's very crafty. That this is a positive word. They emphasize lies over facts. That's what we're going to replace this word with. Lies over facts. During its heyday in the late 19th century, it was one of many factors that helped push the United States and Spain into war in Cuba and the Philippines, leading to the acquisition of overseas territory by the United States. So Esau's a liar, man. That's how they get the way and the points across throughout life, man. They're liars. The Lord, he been exposed them. We're going to get a quick precept. Isaiah chapter 58, or Psalm 58, and verse 3. It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And that's all the so-called white man does, is speak lies. Talk about a style of newspaper reporting that emphasize sensationalism over facts. You got to understand these men. If you're walking around today in 2024 saying, oh, the white man, he'll never lie to me. I trust in America. I trust this government. Well, you're a sheep, like one of the brothers said. A sheep on the left-hand side. Why? Because you follow the so-called white man and his system. We want to be sheep on the right-hand side that follow Yahweh Shem Yahushai, whatsoever he goes. Not a sheep on the left-hand side lining up for your third booster shot. Well, they said we got to get it. They said if I didn't get it, I'm going to die. Brother, you're just a sheep or sister, whoever's taking that. But let's keep reading. It says, I'm going to start from the top, actually. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth for ear. So these men, their lies, they're poisonous too. They get people jammed up. They get people riled up, man. Like it says here, it helped to push the United States and Spain into war in Cuba and the Philippines. Through their lies, man. Through them manipulating media, newspapers. Hey, man, in today's age, it'll be the news, man. Them TV, the damn ads you see on your phone when you go on YouTube, that'll be their yellow journalism. Them just taking things out of proportion and saying what they want to say to rile up the people. Which is why, like the brother was saying, they want to ban TikTok. Because they got all these, what's the word? Not single streamers, but individual streamers that are pushing out against what they're bringing up, or pushing against what they have set up, and whistleblowing, and the truth at the forefront of all of it being spread out through the four corners of the earth, through social media. But Brother Zig got it, because I know you have something.
I want to say one thing real quick.
Come.
I just wanted to enact the Fair Use Act for them last couple videos we did. That was just our commentary on those things. Lord willing, they don't take this video down for that.
Lord willing, will post that in the I'll put it in the bio. Try to put that in there. Esau's crafty. You can't madness. You had something else?
No, that's it.
Okay, Con. So yeah, we do also want to go into. I want to share the screen because all of this is again linking up to the end all be all, which is to try to remove teaching about the scriptures, remove the Bible, remove the truth. You can't remove the truth. Let me get this quick precept. This is a book of Acts, right? Chapter 5 and verse 38. It says, "And now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. If this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught." Right? So this is of man, then of course it's not going to work. The Lord will overthrow it. Right? Whatever's of the Most High is going to be of the Most High, and it's going to endure unto the end. But whatever is not of the Most High, it may be here today and going tomorrow. Right? Reading on, verse 39. "But if it be of Yahweh, ye cannot overthrow it, lest happily ye be found even to fight against Yahweh." And that's what the so-called white man is trying to do. He wants to fight against the Lord, right? Literally, 2nd Ezra the 13th chapter, Revelation the 19th chapter, Isaiah chapter 19, they want to fight against the Lord, right? Now let's get this in. So this is the Christian Post. Now I have it in the Christian Post as well as the Washington Times. I might actually get it here first. So this is the Washington Times, which if you didn't know, this is Washington Times is a newspaper that's owned by Jeff Bezos, right, and Amazon, right? So this is a so-called reputable source. So it says Canadian measure will remove free speech protection from quoting the Bible and sacred text. Now this is March 1st, 2024. Legislation introduced and hold on. Satan. Try to stop this thing. Hold on. Let's get out of there. Right? Let's read this again. It says legislation introduced in Canada's parliament. Can brother see my screen?
Con.
Okay, con. It says in Canada's parliament will eliminate the use of quote unquote belief in a religious text. They said they want to eliminate the use of belief in a religious text as a defense against hate crime charges. So I can't say, look, I believe in the Bible. If I do so, it says as a defense against hate crime charges. Meaning what? They're eventually going to bring out these hate crime charges in Canada and elsewhere in the earth. That if you're believing in religious texts, this is a hate crime. Let's continue, because more on this to further prove that. It says repealing the exemption in Canada's criminal code will criminalize sermons. So a sermon is any time a so-called pastor is teaching. That's going to be criminalized. It says in messages using the Bible or other religious texts as the basis for critiquing other religions or addressing issues such as transgender rights, critics warn. So hold on. When you use the Bible in a sermon or a message, whether the Bible or using other texts, and you critique other religions and you address different things, it says transgender rights, but it might not just stop there. Of course, they speak with two tongues, right? A silver tongue is what they call it. A fourth tongue as well. So we understand that in general, I mean, if they're going to pass this, they ain't going to just stop there. If you're teaching using the Bible or other quote unquote religious texts as the basis for critiquing other religions or addressing issues, right? Issues such as transgender rights, critics warn. It says Yves Francois, how do you pronounce that? Blanket. It says leader of the minority bloc Quebec party submitted the private members bill. That's what it's called the private member, defined as a measure not sponsored by a cabinet minister or a parliamentary secretary in November and again last month. The measure received an initial reading in the lower chamber, but no action is followed. Now let's continue. So that's where that was at. It says the measure is needed to hold on. I'm gonna read this. Mr. Blanchett, or however you pronounce that, said when he introduced the bill that its purpose is to allow authorities to persecute anti-Semitic speech. Right? That's the same thing this guy said, Ted Cruz said about TikTok. Said, hold on. TikTok is harmful against the children. It's causing self-harm to children. And he did a long pause. Took like a 10-minute pause. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And then he said anti-Israel. That's what it's about. It's about teaching against the Jewish man, the so-called Jewish man, who is not the real Jew. According to the Bible, he'll be from the nation of Amalek, which is the Edomite, which is the great-grandchild of Esau. These are white, so-called white people. They're not the real Israelites. They're not the Israelis. They're not the real Jews. They're not any of that. You understand? But continuing. It says the measure is needed to refrain from giving inappropriate and undue privileges to people within a society who use them to disturb the peace. So it says the measure is used to refrain from people within a society who use the scriptures. That's the them. It's talking about the text to disturb the peace and harmony. Let me get a precept, right? Because they said that we disturb the peace and the harmony. I know a brother who was put in jail for teaching, and he quote unquote disturbed the peace, right? In his city. Let's bring this out. This is the book of Acts, chapter 17, and I'm gonna get verse 5. Acts chapter 17 and verse 5. But the Jews which believed not, moved with envy, took unto them certain lewd fellows of the baser sort, and gathered a company, and set all the city on an uproar, and assaulted the house of Jason, and sought them bring them out to the people. Verse 6. And when they found them not, they drew Jason and certain brethren unto the rulers of the city, crying, these that have turned the world upside down are come hither also. Now the church, they wasn't in all of the world, so to speak, right? Literally, they're saying that Paul, Jason, right, Silas, Barnabas, you understand, and the different apostles that was rolling with Paul during his time, these men, they were literally causing an uproar, anarchy, an insurrection upon a Roman society. I believe in the previous chapter, in the 16th chapter, it says these men teach things which is contrary to the Romans. I'm gonna get it real quick. This is Acts chapter 16. Acts 16 and 20. It says, and brought them to the magistrates, saying, these men, being Jews, do exceedingly trouble our city, and teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, neither to observe, being Romans. So again, this bill is passed to take away the privileges of people within a society who use them to disturb the peace and the harmony. And that's not what we want to do. We're a peaceful nation. We want peace on the earth, just not for the other nations, but for the nation of Israel. And when we're in peace, when the world is in peace under the rulership of Yahweh, the Most High God, and His Son Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus, when that's happening, of course the entire earth is going to be in peace. We want peace. Y'all the people that don't want peace. Y'all want wars. Y'all want bloodshed. Y'all want tanks rolling in the streets. You want tanks on the damn ground. Y'all want nuclear missiles being dropped. That's what y'all really want. See, we want the whole world to be established in peace. We want the laws of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai to be taught in all of the earth. We want everyone to be keeping the commandments. We don't want to go to a restaurant and not know if our food has pork in it. You want to have a good time with your woman, you find out your damn food got pork. Go to a store, you picking up damn detergent, and it got glycerin in there or other pork products. This place is filthy. This is not peaceful. This isn't no harmony. When has there ever been a harmony for the so-called black man and Hispanic man in America? Or in Canada for that matter? Never. Not one time. See, it's never going to be peace in the earth until we're back in rulership. And his Bible is teaching that's exactly what will happen. So let's continue. It says, especially if those privileges enable people to sow hatred. Hold on. Let's get this precept. Right? This is the book of Psalm, chapter 139 and verse 19. It says, surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O God. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men. And these are the people that truly sow hatred in the earth. They the ones that sow hatred. They have a CIA, which is what? That's an acronym for the Central Intelligence Agency. What is their job? What is their role? To sow discord and hatred amongst other countries. Why is there a U.S. embassy in other foreign lands? Why is there an American jurisdiction in other parts of the earth other than America? Why? Because they want to sow hatred in the earth, but yet they're passing this bill against people who, quote unquote, are within a society who disturb peace and harmony, and they want to sow hatred. Who is that? Start talking about the Christian pastor. The Christian pastor wants everyone to be on one accord. God loves everybody. Whatever you did, God got you. That's what they teach. The Muslims, they bowed and praised a rock. It's not talking about them. But who's the people that's quote unquote sowing discord or sowing hatred? Let's continue. It says, or wish death upon others based on a belief in some divine power. Brothers, please stop me. If this is not talking about the Hebrew Israelites, I don't know who it's talking about. I'm being so real. This is the WashingtonTimes.com. This ain't a made-up article. This is from the Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon that everyone in the earth is buying from right now, the second wealthiest man in the earth. His news company has posted this article March 1st. And then in this exact bill in Canada was actually passed the other day. And we're going to go into the other article. So let's read this. Let's read Psalms chapter 119, 139 and 19. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O Yahweh. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men. So we don't wish death upon others, but we're here to tell you the Most High is going to bring death upon all the other nations who've done evil, who's killed the children of Israel, who's fed us pork, who's taught us lies, who took away our heritage, who's pretending to be us, who's rolling around and putting our brothers and sisters in prison for no real reason, who's criminally time and time again against us and want to put different criminal laws and different things against our people, whether it was the mass incarceration in the 90s, whether it's the drugs in the 80s, the crack in the 80s, the heroin in the 60s, in the 70s, and of course the so-called civil rights movement where they killed tens of thousands of our people. Now, let's not forget about the slavery that happened. You understand, the shadow slavery, the hardcore slavery, and the killing of millions, hundreds of millions of so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans since we got over to this side of the world. Because they was doing that during the Greek captivity. They was doing that in the Roman captivity. They stood on the other side of the temple in 586 BC when the Babylonians came through and they besieged and burned up our walls in our temple. And they said, raise it, meaning destroy them, even to the foundation thereof. They wish death upon us. What the hell is going on here? So let's read on. Reading on verse 20. For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Yahweh, that hate thee? And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. So of course, they are enemies. Evidently, we done nothing to these so-called white men, but they continue to rape, rob, and murder the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to this day. All we trying to do is now stand up for the Most High. We're believing in the same Bible that they used against us in slavery. They try to use this against us, and yet, these same scriptures is being used against them. It was never for them. I don't mean to be long-winded, but I mean, this just got me upset. As you can see, this bill is clearly against you. You that's watching this video, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, us Israelites. No matter if you're in Canada, no matter if you're in Europe, no matter if you're over in America. This bill is going to start in Canada, but it's coming to America very soon. Best believe that. So again, it's not about TikTok being banned. It's much more about this truth and what they're going to try to do to the men of the Lord and the women of the Lord. Now, let's continue on. It says, but Jeff King, president of Washington-based International Christian Concern, said Thursday the proposal is designed to silence. People whose opinions differ from prevailing thought. Now, what does it mean to silence? If you would silence somebody, that's called censorship. That's why the brother just went through the video of Tucker Carlson and Mike Benz over censorship and the mass censorship that's being pushed out on the social media platforms. They want to silence us like they did Yahweh Shai. They want to silence us like they did in 64 AD against Peter. They killed Peter, crucified him upside down. They beheaded Paul. In Acts, the 12th chapter, they killed James. They killed all the apostles except for John. What prophet wasn't killed for teaching his word? We'll wait. Let's continue on. It says, we cannot urge direct violence against somebody, he said, but free speech means we all have very different opinions in a democracy, and we're supposed to have vigorous debates, right? And we can rest right there because we got another article we want to go to. The brother got a point on that? Before I go to the next article?
I had a point.
Con, you got it.
Yeah, and it's just crazy because it, to a T, there's nobody, because Christians aren't out there disturbing the peace. Christians are out there telling everybody that to love everybody and things of that nature. That Christians aren't out there for what they say is gendering hate. That so it has to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts that article. And I'm sure there's brothers up in Canada right now that's getting on people, and that's why they want to. Because it says the kingdom, this gospel of the kingdom has to what? Has to be taught in the four corners of the earth. And then the end is going to come, right? This is Jeremiah 5:14. It says, wherefore thus saith the Lord, God of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. And that's really why they want this Bible banned. This is why they want this word to stop, because the words that we're speaking, the word of the Most High is burning them up. You go out there and you telling people you can't do this, you can't do that. Things that we're telling them, things that go against their fleshly nature. We're telling them things going against what they want to do and not what the Most High wants them to do. And that's why they want this Bible banned, because they don't want to get down with the word. They hate the words of the Most High. Right? We're telling them they can't be homosexual, you can't be transgender. And they think it's hate that we're telling them that, but that's the truth, right? We're telling them they can't do these certain things, and it's happening, like the brother said, it's happened in the scripture before, right? I want to get this precept real quick, right? All the prophets, all the teachers, they always got on people, and they always got some kind of punishment. They always got hate. They always got some kind of persecution for it, right? This is Matthew 14. In verse 1, it says, at that time, Herod the Tetrarch heard of the fame of Yahweh Shai, and said unto his servants, this is John the Baptist. He is risen from the dead, and therefore mighty works do shew forth themselves in him. And this is the point, verse 3. It says, for Herod had laid hold on John, Salakia, and bound him, and put him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife. For John said unto him, it is not lawful for thee to have her. You see that? So John, he went and he didn't give a damn who it was. He didn't give a damn that it was Herod. He went and told him, listen, that's off. You can't have your sister, your brother's wife. Right? That's fornication, that's adultery, that's going on. But he was thrown in prison for it. It's the same thing that's going on now. They don't want to hear the words of the Most High. They don't want people, even in Amos, the 5th chapter, it says they hate him that rebuketh at the gate. And that's why they want this Bible to, that's why they're censoring the Bible over in Canada. And they think it's not going to come to America. That's right north of us. It's not like it's across the pond. It's not like it's across the Atlantic Ocean. Right? That's right here in the Western Hemisphere. But you see that John, same thing happened with him. They're trying to ban the Bible. They're trying to lock people up for rebuke. Basically, you're locking people up for rebuking people. Just like we went into on a Sabbath service, we went into rebuke and reproving people. They're locking, reproving and rebuking people used to be a way of life for us, like we read in the scripture, and they're trying to lock people up for that because we're getting all people telling them they can't do this, they can't do that, or the Most High is not happy with you. Showing them that what the Most High has done to other nations and what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. Is that a fake tale? Is that no, that actually happened? We're telling them that actually happened, and they want to get mad at us because we telling them that they can't do that. But it's not actually us. It's the word of the Most High, and like we read in Jeremiah, that's what's burning them up. But you got to kick.
You got a point in your testimony?
Yeah, I got a quick precept. And yeah, like the brother said, they don't like that. You know, I got two precepts actually. They don't like that. And they want to shut this down, you know, because we're testifying against them, man. You know, we're testifying of the evil works. You know, when we go out there on the highways and the byways, you know, we go out to wake up Jake, you know, on the main fold as the fishes of the Lord, but we also go out to prophesy against this nation, to expose Esau, man. Why? Because the Lord, he requires it of us. This is Ezekiel 35. I'm going to start at verse 2. I'll start at 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. So the Lord, he told us to set our face against the inhabitants of Mount Seir, a.k.a. Esau, the so-called white man. That's why they want to shut this down, man. That's why they want to shut down this Bible. Because we're prophesying of their wicked works, man. We're exposing them. These men, they like to creep around in the dark. You know, do God, you know, the Lord knows what behind closed doors, you know, in secret tunnels, and you know, and like the brother was saying, and damn, the back of or the secret groves and Bohemian Grove and all that. They like to do that stuff in the dark with no one looking, no one watching. It's creeping around. But right now, we're bringing it to light, man. The Israelites, we are bringing this all to light, man. We're exposing this nation and bringing wisdom unto our people about this nation, man. Exposing the wicked one, which would be Esau, the so-called white man. They are wicked. And we're exposing them, which is why they want to shut this down. Because the Lord said this. Now, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 12. I'm going to start with verse 4. The classic. It says, But thou, O Daniel, show up the words and seal the book. Even to the time of the end, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. And right now we're in the age of information. That's what they call it. You know, you got a lot of social media. You got internet at your beck and call, Google. You know, and it's truth, man. It's going to and fro, man. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You know, every app you go on, you're going to find the truth. Going to and fro. Why? Because the Lord, he required it to pass in the end days, but he's also going to require it to get shut down. Why? Because you had to seek him while it could be found. And Esau, like the Sidebar Mighty article, they're targeting the truth. You know, they don't really care, you know, about damn flat earth, man. You know, when you first came in the truth, you might have been watching flat earth and, oh, this is the truth. You can't get any deeper than this. You thought you got all the way down the rabbit hole. You're talking about, man, you see that? They're censoring this and they're censoring that. No, they don't care about those small. That's a small matter in their eyes, man. Flat Earth and what's other things? Damn, the weather machine and them changing the weather, and there's other things. You know, Jake, if you've been in the rabbit hole, you could probably say some things, but that's not the end all be all. They want to shut this truth down because that's the end all be all, man. That's the true thing they're worried about. That's the true thing that they're running around and fretting about. This truth being pushed out on a mass level, which is why they're doing all these precautions and making making things up as an excuse to shut down the truth. But sorry, you got it, King.
I had a real quick preset.
Come.
So like real quick, and the scriptures is so cool, right? You can see these things happening in real time, right? This is Isaiah 29, and I'm gonna start at 18. It says, "And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness." And that's literally what's going on as we speak, right? Our people were seeing out of the darkness. With all the lies that we've been told, the blindness that the Most High has put on us, He's allowing us to see through it, right? It says the deaf shall hear the words of the book, and now we're hearing the words of the Bible. We're able to we've been in church, but now we're able to actually have a hearing ear and understand, right? It says the meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. Right, it says, "For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off." And that's going to happen. That's the white man when he's taken down. That's what that's talking about. But here's the point. In verse 21, it says that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. You see that? And that's literally what they're doing. They're making a man an offender for a word. And that's all we're doing. That's all we're doing is speaking the words of the Most High. We're not out here hitting people over the head with clubs, right? We're not out here shooting people. We're not doing none of that. But it says they're making us what did that article say? Was it they're charging people with, is it a felony? Is it a misdemeanor? What are they doing?
So I got another article that's going to actually go into the actual charges, but essentially it's a hate crime.
You see that?
And hate crime, yeah, that's acts of terrorism.
And yeah, and that's not no light crime. That's not light at all. Just like it said in we read the Patriot Act. If that comes here to America, there's heftier charges. There's more serious charges on hate crimes now because of that Patriot Act. And they're making us an offender for a word, and that's literally what the scriptures is saying. That's why another word for the Bible, and another word for the Bible is living water, right? One of the applications of that is that these things, you can see these things play out in real time, real life, right? It's not just some Captain Underpants. It's not just some novel that you could just read. No, this is real life that you can read, and that's why the scriptures is just so cool. But you got to.
You muted.
I'm gonna share my screen right now. So like it, mighty points by the brothers. So like what's going into that first article, that was on the Washington Times.com. They call it America's newspaper. Now, this next one we want to go into, and I want to get this precept before we get it actually. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 11. right? The KJV, it says, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. So that's what they want. They want us to get out the way. Another, you can go over here in the NIV. It says, leave this way, get off this path, and stop confronting us with the Holy One of Israel. They want to get rid of the Most High. The last form of the Most High left in the earth, the last, because honestly, if the children of Israel aren't here teaching the word, then who would teach the word? Everything else will be conformed already to their society. We the last piece that's holding things back from the ways that they wanted. If all the children of Israel was exterminated, like Haman, the Amalekite wanted to do, right? When you read the book of Esther, the 3rd chapter, he wanted all the Jews to be killed. But the Lord put that upon him and his 10 sons. It literally says, forget all this gloom, get off your narrow path, stop telling us about the Holy One of Israel. This is madness. I saw another one somewhere. Oh, this is the Amplified Bible. It says, get out of the true way, turn aside from the path of God, stop bothering us with the Holy One of Israel. That's what they want. They saying, get the hell out of my face. I don't want to hear about that Bible. And like the brother went into, that's how they making us an offender of the word. The Lord said, let me get this real quick, in Amos chapter 5. In all praise to the Most High, everyone that's tuned in, Baba Shah, if you can, just please like this video and share it out if you can, so that this can continue to go all throughout the earth, Most High willing, and reach whoever it needs to reach through the Spirit. Right? So this is Amos 5 and 10. It says, they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. So those that's reproving, those that's holding the truth, they hate that, whether it's our own people or whether, of course, these other nations. It even says, this is the NIV, right? It says, there are those who hate the one who upholds justice in court and detest the one who tells the truth. So they hate those that tell the truth. If you hate those that tell the truth, then what does that mean? That means this entire society, which we already know about, is built off of lies and deception, and it's after the workings of Satan, like we read in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. Why would Satan want the truth to be revealed? Right? Why would the white man want that to be revealed when he's the devil that the Bible speaks about? Devil meaning deceiver, after the workings of Satan, which is the adversary against the children of Israel. So I want to go to this next article. Now, and I wanted to pull it. Well, I'll go to this article first. Right. So this is the ChristianPost.com. It says, this is from Thursday, March 7th, last Thursday. It says Canadian bill will remove religious exemption from hate speech laws, critics warn. Right. Similar to the last one, but this goes a little more in depth. It says lawmakers in Canada are considering legislation which, if passed, could criminalize the act of quoting scripture in defense of biblical marriage, sexuality, and other Christian views. The proposed bill C-367, currently under review in the House of Commons, will repeal religious exemption in Section 319 of the Canadian Criminal Code, which critics say could open up Christians and other religious groups to hate speech charges over any comments or critiques of the LGBT movement. Now, it doesn't stop there, right? It's more on that. Now, I want to go into their hate speech charges that's over in Canada. So let's go to their hate speech charges. What does that entail? How long is the sentence and all of that? Let me see if I can find something. All right. I'm gonna just type up what is. All right, let's look at this. If we can find it. If we can't find it, it is what it is. So this is CBC. It's the CBC. It says the Criminal Code of Canada says a hate crime is committed to intimidate, harm, or terrify not only a person, but an entire group of people to which the victim belongs. The victims are targeted for who they are, not because of anything they have done. Now let's go down. Let's see what else is, going into this thing. How long the charge is. That's really what I want to look at. If I can find this, Lord willing, I can. All right, Lord willing, we can find this. I just kind of skimmed. If someone else can find it and you can drop it in the well, I think I found some. All right, so it says so the mischief relating to religious property, it says A, meaning the person, is guilty of an indictable offense and liable to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 10 years. So you can get about 10 years in prison. Let's get a precept. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2. And we want to get verse 10. Revelation 2:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also, hold on, this is Revelation 3. This is Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10. Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So this hate crime over in Canada, you might be cast in it says not exceeding 10 years. Meaning that's the sentence that they can give you. Now there's probably other things, and we, can go further on, but this is just what we found initially. Like I said, if you can find something else on it, all praise to the Most High. Baba Kashad dropped that in the comments, right? But let's continue on with this other article. And brothers, if you have a point, you can stop me. I can't see y'all on the screen. But so back to it. It says Bill C-367 specifically targets paragraph 3193B and paragraph 319.3.1B of the Criminal Code, which prohibits any conviction on hate speech charges if, quote unquote, in good faith, the person expressed or attempted to establish by an argument an opinion on a religious subject or an opinion based on belief in a religious text. So that's a part of their law, that you can do it, and you're not going to be criminalized for it if you're using the scripture or religious subject or text to back up your points and you making an argument about it. But now they want to remove that. It says if the religious exemption is removed, any religious or faith-based expression that refutes or condemns gender ideology, child sexualization, and other similar topics could potentially be deemed by Canadian courts as hate speech and lead to criminal prosecution for Christians and other religious groups. It's more on this. Now, it says, wow.
Slocky.
You got it.
Yeah, and that's wicked. It said, brother, you got your cursor on it. If the religious exemption is removed, any religious or faith-based expression that refutes or condemns gender ideology, child sexualization. I'm at a loss of words, man.
Yeah.
These men are wicked. That condemns child sexualization. Let's have a bunch of pedophiles running around, man.
Right.
That's like I had to intervene.
It's madness. Watch this.
Yeah.
What's the next one? So it says, while Blanchett and other lawmakers say Bill C-367 comes in response to recent anti-Semitic demonstrations in Canada, including one in which a Muslim activist called for God to exterminate what he called Zionist aggressors. Some organizations like the Canadian pro-life group Campaign Life Coalition, CLC, warned the legislation could lead to more criminal prosecutions against Christians. Well, hold on. Well, this bill came about because of it. They're saying because of these Muslims, but how is it now affecting quote unquote Christians? And when they say Christians, like Azara brought out, It's not talking about your Christian pastor. It's not talking about your grandma that's in the church with the so-called Holy Ghost and she's damn having a damn shakes. Like she's having an aneurysm. This is not what's going on. This is talking about the brothers and sisters who believe in his Bible and the brothers that's on the highways and byways teaching his Bible. It's not talking about no one else, as we see. Let's continue. It says, in February, David Cook, the CLC's campaign manager, wrote, "No longer will we be allowed to share God's design for human sexuality and marriage in public. No longer will we be able to speak out in the name of God against drag shows for kids, child drag, or child sex change. All this could be misconstrued as hate speech against the LGBT community. Even our pro-life message could be spun as a hate crime against women." And there's more. Jeff King, the president of the International Christian Concern, says if passed, the bill will be a devastating legal tool to attack people of faith in Canada and allow the politicians to working through the court and police to send devout believers to jail for quoting the Bible, Quran, or other religious texts. Yeah, they want to send you to jail. And what's going to happen when you go to jail? They might have some people in there go do things to you. They may torture you. They may send you under the jail. They have jails for so-called terrorists. Guantanamo Bay and other brothers know other prisons that's like that. But I know it is real bad over in Guantanamo Bay. They torture you, they waterboard you, put a bag over your head, they put on oil and gasoline over you. You say, who was your how about Shimmy Al-Shah? And you're not saying nothing, hey, they'll then put the bag over you and pour some more water over you or some more gas. Say, look, this man's not talking, light this nigga on fire. Tired of these niggas. We want to exterminate all niggas. Let's get this precept real quick. This is the book of Esther, chapter 3 and verse, I'm going to get this. Esther chapter 3 and verse 8. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there's a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people. Neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasury. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it to Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy. So again, they wanted to, I'm going to jump down to 13. And the letters were sent by post unto all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, to cause to perish all Jews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar, and to take the spoil of them for a prey. Now, through the Spirit, we're in this the second Adar, the last month, right? This is the second Adar that we in. It says upon the 13th day of the 12th month. We're in the second Adar, which is technically the 13th month. And we started this Watchman Wednesday, March the 13th. It's now March the 14th. So through the Spirit, I mean, that just through the Spirit. And the Most High has been brought out for a reason. Now, let's read on. And if a brother got a point, hop in there. I just want to finish the article out. It's almost done. But you got it if you got a point. Okay, Khan. So it says the same methods that overseas dictators and despots use to silence and strangle Christianity are now being used by political enemies in the West, with this current bill being only the latest example, right? So I think this is actually it's kind of what I wanted to end off with, but yeah, that's pretty much it, right? That's pretty much it. So that's a big deal, man. Again, that's literally what the famine of the word is. Let's get this last precept, then the brother got it. This is the book of Amos, chapter 8 and verse 11. Behold, the days come, say Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor of thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. So there is going to be a famine. The Lord didn't say if, he didn't say maybe. He said the days come. I mean, it's going to happen on the earth when a word is going to be taken out the earth. Where they're going to be able to shut down this truth, so to speak, for a season. They're going to think they can be able to do that. You can't stop the truth. It's already set up to happen. You understand? They can't do nothing against this thing, as we read already. But the Lord's going to allow them the ability to take the men off the streets, to have us going hiding. Because the scriptures say, 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter and the 40th verse, that we're going to be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Right? So let's read on. It says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north, right? From the north, even to the east, they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord and shall not find it. So they're going to run from the north even to the east. We know Canada is north of America. So this thing is going to go down. Again, it's not a when, or it's like a if, but it's just a matter of when. We got to be diligent. The Lord said that's going to happen. You're going to seek a prophet and you're not going to be able to find one. The last precept, Salakia, last one. This Psalm, chapter 74 and verse 9, it says, we see not, I started 8. They said in their hearts, let us destroy them together. They have burned up all the synagogues of God in the land. So the Lord said they're going to burn up all the synagogues of God in the land. Well, not every camp teaches in a building. But just in general, there's different camps. There's different congregations. There's different spots where we teach at. So in just to make this scripture plain, this prophecy plain, is that the Lord is going to allow them to take us off the streets, whether imprisonment or put us in hiding and being on the run. This happened during the time of Elijah. There was prophets that were being hid in caves by 50s by the prophet Obadiah. When you read the book of 1 Kings, the 18th chapter, when Jezebel and Ahab was going through and killing all the prophets of the Lord. So let's read on. Verse 9. We see not our signs. There is no more any prophet. There's going to be a time on this earth where there's going to be no more prophets teaching this word. Whatever you got is what you got, so you better get it now. Let's read on. It says, neither is there among us any that knoweth how long. And you're not going to be able to ask a brother in that day, brother, how much longer do you think we got? What other prophecies got to come to pass? Again, it's going to be up here. It's going to be up here. If you ain't got it up here, then you ain't got it at all. Right? But you got it, King. Whoever want to get in there.
If you want to go, you're talking about. I don't really got too much of.
Yeah, I borrow everything on my end.
Let me get another precept real quick. Right, so we can wind down. It is 103 on the so-called East Coast. Right, let me get this precept. This is the book of Acts, chapter 24, and I'm gonna get verse 4. Verse 5. It says, for we have found this man a pestilent fellow and a mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world, and a ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes. So you got to understand that you about to be criminalized. Just going to put it out there. If you're watching this video, if you got the fringes on, you got a mitri, sisters got a head wrap, you believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you will be criminalized. You live in an apartment building, they may the damn neighbors may kick you out the building. Then you want to run. The police, they're going to come break through your door and they're going to grab you up. You may be out somewhere and you see martial law and the soldiers and the tanks is on the ground and you got to go run. The Lord said this is going to happen. It's not a if, but it's a when, right? So let's read on. It says, who also had gone about to profane the temple, whom we took and would have judged according to the law. So they try to grab up Paul. They say he's a ringleader. He's a leader of all these Jews. They all out here, they teaching, they doing this, they doing that. They teaching against this Roman society. Look, we got to grab Paul up. We got to get the leaders off the streets. We got to get these men off the streets because they're teaching against our society. Keep that in mind. Don't think that they're not going to come after you and you good and you protected. If that's the case, if you good, that means you got the mark of the beast. You sold out. You with the white man. That's what the mark of the beast is. I saw somebody ask that comment earlier. I don't know if he's scoffing or not, but evidently, if you with this society, then you're with the ways of this world, then you have the mark of the beast. If you're with the Most High, then Ezekiel the 9th chapter in verse 3 on down tells you there's a mark of the Most High God. So there's a mark of the beast and there's a mark of the Most High. If you're with the Most High, you have the mark of the Most High. If you're with the beast in a society, you have the mark of the beast. It's plain, right? So really pick a side, because I know what side us brothers is on. Lord willing, everyone that's watching this, Lord willing, your Azara, your Tazimat, all the WFI, all the sincere brothers and sisters all throughout Israel that scattered abroad, Lord willing, you with the Most High, right? But y'all got it.
I'm gonna get the classic. In Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Hey, so like we're bringing out, the Bible is about to be banned, and the Lord, he likens this wisdom and knowledge of the Bible as a treasure, as something that's going to be the stability in the times to come, the times of war, the times of sedition, the times of plague, famine, of upwards. That's going to be the stability of our times, man. Not a damn AK-47 or a damn Tommy gun and a damn a shed full of food that you stored up. That's not going to be the stability of your times. It's going to be you having understanding and wisdom of the Bible and applying it. That's why we're telling you it's time to get it, man. It's time to hoard up this knowledge while it's here, not to forsake it and say it's not worthy. It's not worth it right now. I'm gonna go dive into something else in the world, man. No, it's time to stop investing in the world. It's time to come back to the Bible while it's still here and gain all the knowledge you can before the time is up, man. That's what we're telling Israel. Like the brother said, it's gonna be it's gonna be up here, and if you don't got it, you don't got it, man. And that's gonna be a sad day when you try to seek after a vision, but there will be none. Or you try to seek after the law, but the Lord took the law away out the mouth of all the people, man. Now there's no one breaking down the law, and you're just trying to find out what's going on. Well, they said what, it had to divide the hoof, and no, it's too late, man. You should have been reading and you should have been understanding and walking in that when you had the chance to repent. So right now, Israel, like we bring out every Wednesday, you gotta watch, see the things that are going on, and take heed to it. But Yazoo, you got it, King.
This is the book of John, chapter 9 and verse 4. It says, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. Right? Because in the ancient time, you didn't have lights. You didn't have, I don't know what they have on farms to keep the light going. But in ancient time, when it's daytime, that's when you get the work done. Right? When the night came, that's when you stopped your work. So this is what Yahushua is saying is that right now, that's the time to do the work. If you feel compelled to go out to teach, to repent, to do the works that the Most High requires of us, now is the time to do it, because we can see that these things, that the Bible, the word of the Most High, is getting ready to be banned. It's getting ready to be censored. Right? It says, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. So the night is coming. Right? When like we talk about Jacob's trouble and all these prophecies that have to come to pass, the Bible being banned, censored, famine of the word, all these things are going to come to pass. So now is the time to put that work in, because like we just read, it says the night is coming when no man can work. There ain't going to be people out in the streets teaching his word. where you can store up faith as a treasure, where you can store up these things in your mind, right? Reading, they're going to take these Bibles, they might burn them like they did in the ancient days. So now is the time to put in that work. Right now is the time to serve the Most High with all your heart and with all your strength. Because again, like Yahushua said, there's going to come a time when no man can work, right? So that's all I got.
Khan. So of course we're gonna give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach Malak Washai. Most High willing was edified. Again, this is Brother Kasadi from W5 Jersey, Philly.
Brother Azra.
Brother Tazamak.
Khan. Kwame Sharala. Keep watching these last days. Shalom.
So long.